up, guys? It is Wyatt, and I know that was about the cheesiest intro you've probably seen in the last week, but I don't care because I'm back. Well, kinda. I do have a new video for you guys tonight, and if you read the title, you already know what's gonna happen. But I want to apologize first and foremost if it's echoing in here. It's just how this building is, don't know why. And if the camera is shaky, it's because I'm recording it on my phone. So sorry, not sorry. Like I said, I have been gone for quite some time, have not made a video for you guys. And long story short, I was just kind of tired of the whole YouTube thing. Not so much of making videos for you guys to enjoy. I love that part of it. It just takes forever to record videos, edit them, and upload them. And I've just been extremely busy with work lately. Haven't had the time to do so. And everything I have done on my car, which has been a lot, I didn't feel like taking the extra time and doubling it to record videos for you guys, which I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, I had to get stuff done on a pretty tight schedule. So in the next video, there will be a bunch of updates on that car, the EK build, the sketchy EK. Ton of things have happened on that car. We finally went 12.0 at 125 miles an hour. I'll play that clip right now. It was on one of Boosted Boys' videos. And along with running that 12.0, we've just done a ton of other things on that car. So yeah, good things, big things coming for that thing really soon. We're definitely finally starting to get a couple things figured out on it, and I will explain all those in the next video. But for today, the real reason you came here is to check out the new project that we have. I actually ended up acquiring this car through a trade deal on a bunch of work for a guy's truck, and I'm really pumped about it. I think you guys are gonna be too. Oh shit, what is that, boy? So as you can see, it is a red EG hatch. It is a 94, I think. I don't even know. I should probably look at that. But anyways, it's pretty clean. It's already got everything I need. Well, pretty much everything I need to put it back together, but we'll get into that more here in a few. I'm gonna show you around the outside of the car right now. It's actually pretty clean. It does need a little bit of cosmetic stuff, but it's by far the cleanest Honda I've ever owned. So yeah, let's go ahead and start the walk around there. So like everything I own, this thing is good from afar, but far from good. I've already gone ahead and polished it and buffed it, and it brought a lot of paint back to life, which is awesome. But the front bumper does need some work as it's kind of seen better days. I also need to get a hood for it and paint that to match. And the roof could use some more work as well. It is pretty faded from sitting outside, but otherwise the car is actually really clean. Like I said, you know, buffing and polishing it brought back a ton of life to the paint on the sides of the car, and it's looking really good. Down here we got a little bit of rust, but I'm not gonna fix it. It is what it is. And on the trunk we got a couple little dents. Nothing too bad, but we definitely need to pop those out and get the car looking just that much better. I'll get some new taillights for it as well, slap those in, and we're gonna be set back here. And then on this side of the car, well, this side of the car is pretty much mint and looks great. So I'm not gonna do anything over here. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think this is definitely the cleanest car I've ever owned, especially compared to the 50 Shades of Gray on the EK build. While the exterior of the car is somewhat nice, what I'm actually really stoked about is all of the awesome parts that came with this car. Whoever built it originally spent a lot of money and a lot of time building this thing to be a true driving machine and also perform really well. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, especially for being a Honda and all, but like I said, they did spend some money. So talking about suspension stuff, this thing has Coney yellows all the way around with fully adjustable coilovers. Those are ground control coilovers on there. And it's also got these adjustable upper control arms so that we can get this thing dialed in. And like I said, it's got those on all four corners. And as you can see, the back of the car is freaking slammed. And that's how I'm gonna leave it. Hopefully it rides pretty nice with all of the nice suspension stuff on it. They are completely adjustable front and rear. So hopefully that'll help as well, because I do plan to make this car a weekend warrior at the least, if not a fun daily driver. Another thing with the suspension that I kind of wanted to mention is back here, it's got all kinds of cool stuff as well. It's got lower control arms and brace and a sway bar. And the car also has a full 3-inch exhaust all the way back. So yeah, like I said, this car's got all kinds of goodies on it. And I'm really excited to get the thing built. Along with all the badass suspension stuff, the car is currently sitting on some replica 15x7 FPR1s. I think that's what they're called. Don't quote me on that. And some old rubber, but I do have new rubber on the way for the car. I went with some Falcon 595s, if I remember right. And they had really good reviews. So I'm hoping that with the new tires and the nice suspension stuff, this thing will be a great daily driver for me, making some good power and being able to corner, because that's really what I got the car for, is just a fun daily driver, or at least a weekend warrior. So yeah, hopefully all that stuff together will work really well with the car. The car on the ground, it looks way better. I had to tighten up the axles because the wheel bearings were starting to get a little loose, but tighten those up and put the car back on the ground and kind of played with the ride height a little bit. I think right about here looks freaking awesome. There's just a small gap all the way around, and that's probably where I'm going to try and keep it. Obviously the front will have to come up a little with the motor in it, but I'm pretty sure this is where I'm going to keep the back. I really like it right here. Not super low to where I'm going to have to worry about hitting speed bumps and scraping the tires, but low enough to keep the car looking freaking awesome. So inside the car, nothing real fancy, just pretty much stock, but in actually really good shape. I'm not really sure what this seat's out of because it is different than that one, but it is what it is. Up front, pretty much just stock, like I said, nothing fancy in here, just a couple gauges. They got a boost gauge, but it's in bar, so I'm going to replace that. And then they have an oil pressure, an oil temperature, and an innovative air fuel gauge. So yeah, that's pretty neat. Another thing is, I didn't know, but you can still get OEM shift boots, you know, for the shifter from the dealer, and they're pretty cheap. I think it was like 30 bucks, brand new. So I got one of those ordered, but otherwise the interior is just stock and pretty dang clean. There's a turn signal lens back there, but that's it. I forgot to mention this pretty baller headliner that I need to replace, but yeah, came with the car, makes it unique, I suppose. And to finish this video off, I will go over everything I have for the motor and what motor is going to be going in the car. So over here is the engine that will be in the car. I'm going with a D16 Z6. I have this Y8 block here. I might have to use the crankshaft out of it in the Z6 because the guy did spin a rod bearing and the crank was no longer good. Unless I can find somebody with a Z6 crank that's in good shape for cheap. But where I'm at, I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to have to make do with what I got and just do all the mods I can to a Y8 crank and make it work. So we'll see how that goes, but definitely going with a Z6 motor in the car. As you can see here, it's got one of the Hasport mounts on it, and the rest of the car has Hasport mounts as well. Like I said, somebody spent some money on this freaking car when they built it. So back there, transmission has both torque mounts and the transmission mount all has ports. It's also got some kind of a short throw shifter on here, and this whole assembly is extremely tight, like they put all new bushings in it. As you can see up here, it's got a poly mount there, and this thing is super tight. So really nice shifts, and it's just, like I said, nice and tight, like I like them. Anyways, moving on to more of the motor stuff. The head itself has an Edelbrock intake, just a factory throttle body. I don't know what rail this is. I don't know what size the injectors are. It's got this nicer AEM fuel pressure regulator, and that's kind of all I know about that. Like I said, I don't know what size injectors they are. The guy who had it before me said he made 400 horsepower on this thing before he spun a rod bearing. So, is what it is. As far as the head itself goes, it has stock valves, but it's gotten a nice valve job done to it. It also has springs and retainers. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure these are just the stainless steel retainers, not titanium, but I could be wrong. I will have to check that out later. And right now it's got a comp cam in it, but it has some flat spots. It also has this AEM adjustable cam gear, and you can see my new camshaft here for it. It is just a comp cam 59500. Really common cam for these, so that should perform very well. As far as turbo goes, it has a precision turbo. This is like an old school, like 57 trim, just a little baby guy that spools up super fast. Unknown manifold, kind of, I think just an eBay ram horn, but it has a genuine 38 mil tile gate for it. Then moving on from there, it's got a competition, I believe stage 5 clutch and light and flywheel. I just need to have this thing turned before we throw it in, but otherwise super good setup there. It's got an ATI super dampener for the front of the crankshaft, and you can see here this is the downpipe for the full 3-inch exhaust that's on the car. It's got a genuine HKS blow-off valve on this side intercooler pipe, and again, this guy was really sparing no expense. This has a nice, I want to say Mishimoto, but I'm not sure if that M is for Mishimoto, but I assume it is. Oil cooler and sandwich plate, and this is all of their lines and everything, so the guy spent some money there. The car came with a Gates racing timing belt, and here is the new radiator I have for the car. Really nice unit, nice stainless steel housing and slim fan on that. And as far as rods and pistons, that's all over here in this box. I have a brand new set of 1mm over pistons, which would be a 40 thousandths bore. Not sure if I want to go that big, but I have them if I want to. The pistons that came out of it when it spun a bearing were just these Vitaras. These are 0.5 mil bore over, so they're just a 20 thousandths bore. And probably what I'll go back with, as long as I can clean up the cylinder walls, and these things have good, piston to wall clearance, and everything cleans up nice. As far as connecting rods, the rods that came out were Eagle rods, but that was the one that spun the rod bearing, so they were no good. And instead, I have these. You guys might know these. These things are really old, but unused. The FJ R-Spec I-beam rods. These things will take the Vitara build and make it like a 8.5 to 1 compression ratio instead of a factory rod, which is a 7.5 to 1 compression ratio. So yeah, these are just a longer rod. Came with everything for this motor. I'm assuming this guy bought these forever ago, because I don't even think these guys are in business still. But awesome rods. They should hold whatever power this D series is going to make, which isn't much. So yeah, got all 4 of those, and I'm just waiting on my King racing bearings to get here, both rod and mains, and that's pretty much it for the motor. As far as the transmission goes, I'm pretty sure it is stock. I'm not really sure, but yeah, honestly, a ton of good parts here to make a badass car. Just need to get cooking on it and get the thing put together, because it's going to be an awesome little street car. As far as the engine bay goes, you can see that other Hasport mount right here, and the one down there for the T-bracket. I mean, shit, those mounts alone are expensive as heck, so really pumped. Like I said, whoever did this car did it right the first time. It sucks that they ended up selling it so cheap once they blew it up. But yeah, in the engine bay, I need to find an engine harness for the engine. I don't know where that got placed when I went and got the car, so have to get one of those. And I'm going to take the K-member out and clean it all up, get it repainted, probably just go black with it. And then I'm going to pull out, do a somewhat tuck on the engine bay like I did on the EK. So I will tuck all of the headlight wiring and fan wiring and all that stuff. So that'll look good. And probably just leave like the brake lines and everything like I did in the EK. But it will still be a lot cleaner. And I need to get all the paint and overspray off everything in this car anyways. So yeah. I know this video has been a ton of talking, but I hope you guys enjoyed it and are as pumped for this new build as I am. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be the perfect little daily driver street car deal. And like I said, it's got tons of great parts on it. So I think it should be really cheap, really easy to get it back together and running. And we'll go have some fun with it. Maybe take it out to Mexico and get some racing in it. I'm really hoping for about 350 to 400 horsepower. The car does have a flex fuel sensor on it already, so I'm gonna try and get the tune set up to do that, so that when the ethanol content is higher, it will be up on that 400 horsepower tune, and when it's lower, if I just put pump 91 in it, which is available everywhere, it will be on a lower tune. But we'll have to see. I don't really know how Honda works with the flex fuel stuff. If not, I'll just wire in a high-low boost deal, and we'll go from there. Another thing I forgot to show you guys is inside the car. This thing did also come with a Honda V3, which is crazy because these things are freaking expensive. But yeah, like I said, this car just came with a ton of great parts. It was honestly too good of a deal to pass up. But yeah, enough of me talking. I will be working on this thing in future videos. I'm gonna try and record everything I do to this, make an entire build series on this one, since I didn't do that on the EK. So yeah, if there's parts you guys wanna see of, building the motor or doing electrical on it or whatever, anything in particular, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I will try to make a video addressing that. But yeah, like I said, I'm tired of rambling. You guys are tired of listening. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We will see you in the next one. Peace.